apologies for that. Decided to be stupid, but anyway, we are back. So let's run you through the order. Apologies for that. It's my first time. I don't usually stream when I commentate, but you know. But let's run you through the order real quick. We have got TF10 Dirk in first position, followed up by the two ET8 drivers with Rens Tomassen and Ryderdal, followed by TTM Mustache and Thomas Covers. Then CPI Jordan with a 27.3. Then OVR Nico finishing off that 7th place. And then both Mercedeses of Fleddy and Marnie, who I believe is the IRT team. That could also be Kick. I've got no idea who should be in the Kick. But I think that's ILD. So that's the only team I haven't mentioned. But yeah, Karumi, P10, Pablo Ortiz in P11, Aversio Finley in 12th. Thomas Covers going on a lap, but anyway. But the rest of the drivers have not set a lap. That consists of Fraser, Gavroj and Nam, and Thomas Covers does invalidate on that first corner. Unfortunately, anybody else on a lap? Nico is 9 seconds behind. Fleddy is on a lap. He's only 300ths behind his previous best. Let's see what he can do. Can he compete with some of the front runners? Of course, RT do need a bit of a points boost there near the back end of the standings, but that is P7 Fleddy. Decent lap, of course, room for improvement as there is still 6 drivers ahead of him. Anybody else on a lap? Marley, I believe, is on a lap as well, and it looks like there's that Alpine in the way, which might be a penalty. Ooh, very close there between the Alpine there, but that is Marley going into the pit lane anyway, so I doubt that will get reported. Fleddy out as well. Thomas Covers on an invalidated lap. Rens Tomassen, 13 seconds back. CPI Fraser looks to be on a fast lap. Not sure. Gavroj sending it through there. Of course, you have to be absolutely on the limit as well. It's either you're on the limit or you're off the track on this specific circuit, because the track limits are so narrow. And that is a perfect example of how close the track is, how close the lines are to the edge of the track, as Gavroj does invalidate his lap time. Nam is also invalidated. Anybody else out on laps? Not to my knowledge. Jordan maybe? Could be on a lap. Mustache Knight, ooh, very slidey in that exit of turn 1. Ryderdal as well he's probably on a lap as well. That looks pretty quick. So let's focus on him for a little bit, as he looks to be one of the faster drivers of this session as well for that ET8 team. Anybody else out on laps? Mustache is only 300s behind his personal best in that sector 1. There's 2 sectors left to go, so he can definitely improve on that. Jordan as well, he looks to be on a fast lap as well, going through that DRS straight. Anybody else out on that? Matthias is going into the pits. TF10 Dirk as well could be on a lap. He is invalidated. Ryderdal, Fraser and Mustache. Fraser looks to have backed out of that one. Ryderdal still on that lap, going into the final, the second to last DRS straight, going into what I think is turn 27 here. Brake at that 100 meter boards and make sure you get a good exit. All slidey out of that exit. He looks like he is not going to be finishing that lap. Let's see Fraser. Fraser is backed out. What about Claudio for that ILD team? Iberia race something? I don't exactly know. But he looks to have Mathis is not on a lap either. Claudio looks to be off the track there, but somehow got away without it being invalidated. Might have been a visual glitch, but he's still going into that second sector split 2/10 faster than his previous lap, and he invalidates as soon as I say that. Very unfortunate, but we're going into the last 3 minutes of this session, so everybody's going to be going back in and everybody's going to be going back out. But as we can see out on the little track map, we have got an Aston Martin followed by a kick out on track. Looking to start early on this lap. Where is that Aston Martin? He's still yet to set a lap, so he needs this lap if he wants to get anywhere near the front. So there's a lot of pressure on him to perform, of course. It's always really hard to set your fastest lap with only one lap. Trust me, I know that from experience. So he needs this lap if he wants to get a good start on the grid for the race. After the restart, of course. Looks to be on his out lap. Who is that ahead of him? Probably Pablo Ortiz. Yes, it is. He will probably be the first to start his lap. With 2 minutes left in the session, people are starting to flood out of the pit lane. He invalidates his out lap, but this is only his out lap. So, of course, no need to push. Just warm up your tyres. Of course, you can't use AI to warm up your tyres because that is overpowered on this game. And if you do that, that is quite a hefty penalty, especially in qualifying. But anyway, on to Pablo Ortiz for his lap to try and fight for pole position. He's currently 8/10 behind P1. Going into turn 1 here, very easy to invalidate. We've seen it multiple times. Also very hard to get on the power here. We've seen that multiple times in this session already. People invalidating, and as I say it again, commentators curse again, it looks like, as Pablo Ortiz does manage to invalidate his lap. It looks like EXT Nam is just behind him on a lap as well. Going through this fast sector. Ooh, nice and close, but not far enough to, of course, invalidate. Going into turn, I want to say like 10, 9. I'm not pretty sure. I don't know the track that well. I haven't memorised the track numbers. But yeah, going into the fast right, left chicane, trying to get onto the power as quick as possible. Of course, make sure to use ERS and DRS to your advantage through these corners. It's a 1 minute 0.4 second sector splits, which I think is 4/10 behind Renz, who sets a 26.8, which I must have missed earlier. But yeah, Pablo Ortiz lets him through into that final corner. It looks like it's a very decent lap, a very decent banker as well in his first and last lap of the day. He gets up to P15. Solid job, of course, can be better, but it's a purple sector 3, so really shows what he can do. Let's look towards the front here. You've got Renz going into sector 2. He sets a purple sector 1. Of course, he's probably one of the faster drivers of this grid. Let's take a look at Dirk. He's just behind him. Thomas has invalidated, so he will not be improving on that lap. Take a look at Ryderdale. He is also invalidated. He will not be improving. CPI Fraser also invalidated. Mustache improves to P4. Very good showing. Disqualified from session, Jerome, for going the wrong way. I don't know why you want to be going the wrong way in qualifying, but you do you, my friends. Ryderdale has he got time to improve? No, he doesn't. He comes across the line and finishes. Matthias gets up to P7 for that Versio team. Fraser does not improve. IRT Marley as well looks to have someone like Spun. Renz Tomasson gets ahead, but can Dirk take it away? No, he can't. Thomas covers left. He can't improve. Can he? No, he has invalidated his lap. Jordan coming across the line now. He improves to P6 ahead of his teammate Fraser. Nico now, he's also invalidated. Kurumi, he has not invalidated, but he is slightly slower than his previous time. So let's see if he will improve here. Going to the final corner, onto the final straight, Nam retires from the session. Kurumi is crossing the line. Where is that going to take him? P11. Not bad result, but of course can be better. Pablo Ortiz is also out, and that is everybody. So here is your final starting order for the race. You've got Renz Tomasson starting on pole position with a 26.7, 2 whole tenths faster than anyone close to him, which is TF10 Dirt with a 26.9. Thomas Covers is just behind him, only 4 hundredths behind him, 2 exactly in P3, TTM Mustache in P4, ET8 Ryderdale in P5, Jordan and Fraser, the CPI duo, filling up 6th and 7th. ET8 Matthias in P8, OVR Nico in P9, Fleddy P10, Kurumi in 11th, Marley, and they're not on the same team, apologies, Kurumi in 11th, Marley in 12th, Finley in 13th, 14th is Pablo Ortiz, EXT Nam in 15th, TF10 Mathis in 16th, and IRT Claudio in 17th, and the three that didn't set a lap are Q Quartz, Gavroche, and Jerem. Very unlucky showing from the GT10 team. I'm pretty sure GT10 had a grid penalty, not a grid penalty, a qualifying ban from this race. So yeah. But yeah, that's your grids. I'm gonna do a couple of fixing the stream after Ace has given me some brilliant feedback. Thank you, Ace, if you're watching. I've got no idea how to turn the game audio down, I'll be honest. I can turn my mic volume up, but I don't know if you want me to be ear raping you, so probably won't be doing that. But yeah, going into a restart now. Also some information. GT10 Quartz did not have a qualifying ban. Quartz just crashed, unfortunately. Unlucky to say the least for the GT10 team, but they have got some good drivers in their roster, so let's just hope and see if they can, of course, yes, get back, but 5 red lights and away we go for this restart here. It's going to be absolute chaos. Let's just watch P1, see all the straight line, and always love watching this. Always just so much chaos just to see everyone send it and get safety cars, red flags, all in the first lap. Yeah, it looks like coverage wins from P20, which is very surprising. Well, nice and quick restart there. Yeah. So I mean, now that we've got some time, we've got around 10 minutes, so got to keep you lot entertained. Let's take a look at the standings. I know, of course, you cannot see it, but I've got it on my phone here. P1, TTM Esports, top tier motorsports with 76 points, and on the same points as them are ET8 in P2 with 76 as well. Team Exostia with 64 in 3rd place. 4th place is CPI Esports. In 5th place is Team TF10. P6 Aversio Racing, formerly X Esports, if you remember that from F123. P7 is Grand Track 10 Esports, GT10, who didn't have the best of qualifying, so might not be the best for their title charge. ILD in P8, followed by IRT, both, I think, Spanish teams. I know ILD is definitely a Spanish team, but I'm not sure about IRT. And then rounding it off in P10 is Optimum Velocity Racing, OVR, who, yeah, are only on 3 points, so they're trying to get back into this championship. It is only round 3, of course, so anything can happen. There is, I think, to my knowledge, so, calendar. There it is. So, there is 12 rounds in this, and this is only round 3. So this might not be the only time you hear my beautiful voice. Yeah, next up we have got Baku for round 4. Very technical track, very easy to crash out. I've done it myself in PSGL before, fighting for a championship. Not the most pleasant of experiences, I'll have to say, but good track nonetheless. Very long straight, really provides for loads of racing. Then you've got a mystery round in round 5, which will be very interesting. I'm not sure if that's mystery for every single for PlayStation, Xbox, and PC, or if it's the same track. But yeah, then followed by that mystery Grand Prix is Zandvoort, which we just had today, the race of which Lando Norris won in with an absolutely dominating drive ahead of Max Verstappen. But this is not Formula One. This is competitive speed series. Then anyway, we go into a break week the week after that, which will be September 20th to September 23rd, if my maths is correct. But then after that, we go into Belgium at the Spa-Francorchamps circuit, absolutely iconic circuit for has been on the calendar for Formula One since the very beginning of Formula One's existence. Very classic track, 22 laps around there, so it's a very long lap though, 1 minute 40 around, so loads of room for error, of course, in qualifying, which is why I don't really like the circuit. But then after that, round 8 is Qatar at the Lusail circuit, new addition to the Formula One calendar in real life as well. Has provided good racing with Fernando Alonso getting a podium in that Alpine in the first year in 2021. Getting my F1 knowledge out there. Then Las Vegas, which I've not seen on many calendars here recently. But yeah, then another mystery Grand Prix, Hungary, and then Japan finishing it off. But it looks like we're starting, so I'm going to stop yapping about the calendar. And let's focus on the race. Of course, if you remember, Rens Thomassen did get pole position, followed by Dirk, then Thomas Covers, and then Moustache. Can't remember who was in 5th, though. I think it was a CPI driver? I'm not sure. But yeah. It could have been Mattis, I think. Oh, I can't exactly remember. But yeah, ETA looking to extend their championship lead on, who was it again? On TTM. But it looks like it will be close off that start, so I'm very excited to see how that start will pan out. Um, Yeah, the point system, quickly go through this for anyone who is unsure. P1 is 35, 30 for second, third is 26, fourth is 23, fifth is 20, sixth is 17, seventh is 14, eighth is 12, ninth is 10, 10th is 8, 11th is 6, 12th is 4 points, 13, P13 is 3 points, 14th is 2 points, and P15 with that one singular point, and P16 to P20 gives no points at all. Pole position is 2 points, and fastest lap is 1 point, which means ET8 do actually go ahead, provisionally, of course. I mean, I don't think that can be, no, it can't be disputed that, which means, as it stands, ET8 is on 78 points, and TTM is on 76 points. So, ET8 have got a little bit of an upper hand going into this race, but of course, anything can happen. It is the F1 game. Yeah, now we're just waiting for everyone to load on their setups. Any drivers watching, please remember your setups. Don't want to be that one guy who forgets their setup and is slower than everyone else. Fighting for real money, gentlemen and ladies. But yeah, I've run out of things to say, so anything else? Just have to remember what to put on for the race. Just as a reminder, this is round 3, and you've still got 9 races to go, so anything can happen in this championship. I know I said that, ETA and TTM have got this upper hand. It's still the early season, of course. I mean, you saw it in of course, I'm going to go back to my actual F1 thingies, but anyway, we've got 5 red lights for the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix, and it's go, go, go! Rens Thomason does take the, does get a good getaway, Dirk, followed by Thomas Covers and Mustache. Ryder does fight with CPI Jordan for the P5. Any incidents at the back? No, it looks to be clean going through this first sector, which is good, of course. But Rens Thomason extending his lead, trying to get as far away as he can from Dirk, trying not to get DRS onto the next lap. And of course, with this game, you get DRS on lap 2 instead of lap 3. So drivers need to keep that in mind, trying to get out of the DRS as quick as possible. Karumi and Leddy looks like a nice battle at the back. We've got possible strategies as well, a medium hard or a hard with these drivers at this level. Two-stop is not really viable. Very close racing here between the 4 drivers of Finley, Leddy, Fraser and Martin. Yeah, we look ahead, Thomas Covers and Tietjen Dirk for that 2nd place, and gets Rens Thomason involved, locking up for Rens Thomason going into that final corner. Dirk does not get the move complete, nor does Thomas Covers for P3, so it keeps the exact same going to lap 2. Rens Thomason, of course, gets past that bit first lap, so it's not really anything to shout home about. But yeah, after lap 1, your order is Rens Thomason, followed by Dirk, Thomas Covers, Mustache, CPI Jordan, Ryder Dow, Matthias, Matthias, I'll find out how to say that one day, Nico, Karumi, Finley, Fraser, then both IRT drivers with Fleddy, and Marley, then GT Tang Quartz, doing pretty well from last place to get up to P14 with only in a lap, followed by TF10 Mathis, Galbroach as well, IRT Claudio and Pablo Ortiz, both ILD, OVR Jerem in 19th, and Nam, who is 22 seconds behind. I've got no clue what happened to him. Could he have damage? He might have fixed it by now, but yeah, unfortunate for Nam. Unless the safety car comes around, that might be his race over. But we look ahead, got Thomas Covers trying to make a move on Dirt again. first of all, so it's unsuccessful, but there's another DRS zone now that it's up to another DRS zone. Thomas Covers takes it with 30.4, but it's too wide. Dirk has got that inside line, and Dirk does take the lead from Renz Thomason. Thomas Covers also fighting that, but is unsuccessful, unfortunately. So Dirk takes the lead of the race provisionally, of course, not the end of the race, followed by Renz Thomason and Thomas Covers, and that looks to be a very good battle. But now let's take a look at the tyre strategy. It looks like mostly mediums, Riedel going on the hards, so he's going to go for the overcut. He will box into mediums later on in this race, which might give him a little bit of a performance advantage into the final couple laps. And that's Nam with a 3-second penalty already. It looks like he's really struggling with that car. Not really ideal for him, but yeah. We've got Renz Thomason trying to make a move again, but he backs out with the nature of the corner coming up. It's very hard to overtake through there, but but there's always another DRS zone, and it looks like Renz Thomason is making the move on TSN Dirk once again. Can Dirk fight back? No, he can't. He will have DRS for the next straight unless Renz Thomason has somehow choosed it, which he hasn't, and Dirk has got DRS again going into the next corner. It looks like Thomas Covers is going for also a move, but Renz Thomason does stay ahead of Dirk. It looks like them two will be switching positions a lot this race, so great action. But of course you've got Renz followed by Dirk and Thomas Covers. But yeah, let's take a look at some other. Nam is already on a stop. I think that would have been to replace his front wing. You might see in the incident reports later on tonight or tomorrow morning of what's happened there. Marley, looks like it's Marley. He looks to have crashed, and that causes a virtual safety car. Yeah, unfortunate. Might also be as a race over, but luckily it's a VSC. But it might not last long enough for him to get back into the pit lane and not lose that much time. Yeah, unfortunate for the IRT team, especially as they're trying to fight back in for this race to try and get but yeah, let's take a look at the position changes. CPI Jordan does make a move up on Riedel, and Matthias moves up by 2 positions. Who's moved up by the most? Quartz has moved up by 5 positions, and that's a drive through for Quartz as I say that. Apologies, but yeah, he's had a very good race up to this point, but unfortunately, if you speed on the virtual safety car, you get a drive through, no questions asked, of course. It's very dangerous in real life if you do speed on the VSC, so a drive through penalty is more than justified, of course. Nam and Marley are both in the pits. Nam again in the pits, and that's a hat. What happens to that hat then? Is he spun? I think he's spun. Yeah, looks like that series of corners has been catching out a lot of drivers here, causing loads of incidents. So as head steward, wish me luck, everybody, on tonight. Hopefully I won't have too much to deal with, but you never know. With other series, you've got loads of yeah. But as it stands, Renz Thomason is still in first place for that ET8 team. Thomas Covers and Moustache would still be getting more points, I think, if the maths is correct, but as I say that, Thomas Covers does make the move for P2, but no, he doesn't. Dirt is fighting Renz. Thomas is fighting Dirt. Very close racing here. Can it go 3 wide to go into this corner? Luckily, it hasn't, which is good for the drivers because that would have been a 100% penalty and a full safety car because Mathis must have crashed. Let's see if seconds in. You can't really see. Well, I mean, we'll see on Quartz's POV. No, we don't. Oh, looks like he's hit the barrier there. Absolute classic way to retire in this track. Done it multiple times myself, and probably everybody watching at home who played the F1 game have also done it multiple times themselves. But yeah, taking a look back at the front, your order is Renz Thomassen, followed by Dirk, then Thomas Covers, Moustache, Jordan, and Vidal in that top 6. I'm not sure. I can do the maths mentally real quick to see who would gain more points. 35 plus 17 is 52? 52 and 26 and 23 is... Looks like everyone's coming in. Everyone on the mediums will probably go onto the hards, or maybe... Nah, it won't be a 2-stop. But everybody is in the pit lane, which really spices up the strategies going in, and also screws over Vidal, who started on the hards. I was hoping to get that overcut, but unfortunately won't really be that effective. It means if he does box onto the hards now, which looks like the only tyre viable of making it to the end, he will have to box again, as of course, if you're not stupid, then you'll know that the rule is that you have to use 2 different tyre compounds during a Grand Prix, and that is also apparent in the Formula 1 games, where, let's take a look at what tyres. Yeah, Ryderdale's gone onto the mediums. It's going to be very difficult for Ryderdale to push them all the way to the end, but, yeah, knowing how much experience he has, for him it might be a walk in the park, but yeah, also on the mediums is Duran, who also started on the compound of tyre. But yeah, now that we've got a bit of a break to wind down from the action. Oh, what's happened to Moustache? He's come out in P9. Very bad strategy for TTM here. Might have lost their grip on the championship lead here, but Gavroche has gone from, where was it? Where did he start? P19 to P10. Very good start for Gavroche as he's fighting for that top 10 positions. With his pace, who knows, maybe he can go all the way and put us on the podium, you never know. But Renz Thomassen followed by Dirk and Thomas Covers, said that multiple times, over and over. But yeah, the 2 people who haven't boxed are Marley and Nam, who boxed earlier in the race. They won't have to box again unless they want to, but the hard tyres might not last up until the end of this race. Yeah, we could take a couple moments to just wind down from the action now. Take a look at what they're saying in the PlayStation chat. They say anything? No, nothing special. Been tagged in something? No. We can take a look at the prize pool. Now we've got a little opportunity. I'm pretty sure it's for all 3 the platforms. So first place will get, which is provisionally ET8 as it stands, will get a 125 euros, followed by an SRC 60 euro gift card, who have kindly sponsored the 60 series here. This wouldn't have been possible without without Sim Racing Center. So for your setups and strategies, use code CSS for 5% off, or you can use my code, which I'm not sure if I'm allowed to promote because I'm also SLC affiliated. But anyway, second place gets €85, in third with 50, fourth 25, fifth, and fifth gets €15, and first place in the driver's standing will get an SRC €30 gift card for themselves to spend on whatever they want, coaching, strategy, setups, whatever they wish. What was I going to check? I was going to check the driver's standings, wasn't I? So currently on track to win that €30 thingy gift card, SRC gift card, is K Gatkowski, who sadly is not racing today, so he might lose the grip. He might lose his grip on that, but the only person racing here who has got a chance is Kurumi in fifth. And Kurumi, currently, as it stands, is in P8, so yeah. But anyway, enough of that. We're going back into the race. So it's Rensselaer restarting everyone here from TF10 Dirk and Thomas Covers. Let's put that away. He's starting very late. Let's see when he's going to get away. And off he goes, very close to the line there. Not the fastest of reaction times, as Dirk is already beside him. That Ferrari of Jordan is fighting with Covers. Nico getting all the way up to P4 at one point, but moving straight back down to P6, unfortunately. But still Rensselaer in the lead. Loads of fighting in the back. Can we take a look at that? Side by side, looks like someone spun there. Nam again. Oh, I kind of feel bad for the guy, man. He's spun, he's lost his front wing. Now his chance to get back into this race has been shut down right back again. But anyway, Ryderdal and Kurumi ghosting going on there as well, but Ryderdal does stay ahead of Nico. Now that is 100% confirmed. Ryderdal is ahead of Nico. Any other battles side by side with Nico and Kurumi? Mustache, he needs to fight back if he wants to get back up to that P4 where he was before the safety car, which unfortunately screwed him over. But looks like Thomas Covers and Dirk are fighting again. Thomas Covers does take that P2. Apologies for missing that. But yeah. Anything else happening? Mustache making up 2 positions in 1 corner. Which is very good for him. DRS is now enabled. Now with these fresh tyres, can any drivers set fast lap and take that fast lap away from, well, I believe it's Thomas Covers has got, and that Haas of, I think Nico has gone off track and rejoined. Hopefully it was safely, because we'll have to give him a penalty if it wasn't. But Mustache close to the Aversio driver. Let's see how he can do as this race pans out. Rens Tomasson has already pulled out a whole second to Thomas Covers, which is quite impressive, knowing, you know, how close this pack is and how all these drivers have probably raced each other before. But it's yellow flag coming out of that corner. Is that Pablo Ortiz? Yes, it is. Looks like he's missing an end plate there. Yes, right end plate, unfortunately for him. We go back up to Rens Tomasson. Still a whole second ahead. It's his race to win now, but you never know with these races, anything can happen. But yeah, gaps are much wider now than they were before the safety car. Now this is where the strategy game really comes in, as Ryderdal does have a provisional tyre advantage. Now he is side by side with Jordan. Of course, those mediums, it will be tough to get him to the end. Ryderdal does get ahead of Jordan. Very good move. Nice classic move with DRS and probably was an ERS as well. Claudio does get a losing penalty. That might have been because he was pushed off. That might be removed by stewards later on, depending if the ILD team report it properly, which a lot of teams, spoiler alert, have not done that in previous rounds. But let's go back to the front. Thomas Covers is now regains that gap to Renz, and is now only 8 tenths away from Renz Kamasi. And now Dirk is out of DRS from Thomas. Very close racing between everybody else, apart from the top 3. This was probably where the most action was before the safety car, but after the safety car, it's looking a bit deader. So let's look further down the grid as Aversio, Finley and Nico look to be battling, and Finley does take that place from Nico. Nico unfortunately was all the way up to P5 at one point, I saw him, and has gone down, but it looks like a battle between Rodadal and Dirk has ensued, but Rodadal does get ahead for that tyre advantage that Rodadal has. Finley has lost 3 positions. Let's see what's going on with him. Oh, it's very close. Jerem gets fastest lap with a 30.1. Any moves going in? Nico gets a 3-second penalty. Very close. Looks like Finley might be making it very wide, but unfortunately he does not. But Quartz does get into P12. But Marley has retired from the session. Could that be another safety car? Yes, it is. That could be really good for Rodadal's chances here, as he could now box onto the hard compound and make it to the end of the race. But yeah, so your order right now, you've got ET8 first and third. You've got Thomas Covers filling in that gap in second place. Dirk in fourth, who started second on the grid if I remember correctly. CPI Jordan in fifth, Matthias in sixth, Mustache in seventh. He was up in P4 at one point, but unfortunately, if you just tuned in, there was a safety car before this, and he did box, and he was behind Thomas, which held him up in the pits, but this could be a chance for Nam, once again, to come back into this race after having a very unfortunate start to this race. But it looks like Rodadal is committing to that pit lane, is he? No, he isn't. He is faked Dirk into going in. Maybe this is strategical from the TF10 team. I'm kind of interested to see what tyre he boxes on. Loads of drivers are also in the box, but he goes onto the medium tyres, which makes me think that mediums can make it to the end now. So maybe Rodadal can actually make it to the end of this race. You never know. But, of course, there's still around 12 laps to go in this race. So yeah. Yeah, we can wind down again. I can tell you some cool little information. What have we got? What can I talk about? Driver standings. Nam is actually in 9th place in the driver standings. He's only done round 2 and scored 20 points in round 2, which would have been P5, which is very strong showing, but Nam isn't living up to the potential he did show in what was the last race? Imola. He isn't getting up to that potential. Anyone else who's done every single race so far? Eric Herfangen? I don't think he's done every race either. But yeah, any other strategy calls? No, everyone's behind the safety car. It looks like pretty much that's going to be it. let's take a look at some of the other details. Penalties, 3 seconds for ILD Claudio actually. Nico with a 3 second and Nam with also a 3 second penalty. Stops, everyone's done 1 stop. Claudio has done a 3 stop. And Quartz switching positions there, interestingly. Claudio into the pits. Could something have happened to him? Let's take a look at that. Need a front wing change. Doesn't look like it. Oh no, it does. My apologies. Looks like a front wing change for Claudio, which means that would be his 4th stop of this race. Followed by his ILD teammates Pablo Ortiz, who has done 3 stops. But what else can we look at? Position change. That'll be quite interesting. See who's getting the most position. Duran from last to 10th. Very strong showing so far. Quartz as well from P18 to P12, I believe. Gav Roach as well from P19 to 15. It's also pretty strong showing as well for him. Yeah, now we're just waiting for the ILD guys to catch up to the safety car, and fingers crossed, safety car comes in this lap, so I actually have stuff to commentate on, because I'll be completely honest, I am running out of things to say. We can take a look at past results. So, who won last race? Gatkowski for that CPI team won. And in race 1, it was Enzo Tavani, who I believe is... what's his name? TTM... It's in the back of my mind. Oh, I can't remember it, man. TTM... Is PSG F1. I know that off the top of my head. Not Moustache. I think it's a French name as well. I think I have to take a look at that actually in this little spreadsheet. Blockman, that's the one. But yeah, anyway, enough yapping. Let's get back to the racing action. Will Rens Thomason start late again, as he did earlier? He does, but this time, a bit less success as well. But Ryderdale makes an ET812. Rens is covering off. Thomas covers. Ryderdale does get ahead, but can Thomas covers? He has got that inside line for turn 2. Can he get ahead of Rens Thomason? No, he cannot. It is Ryderdale followed by Rens Thomason and Thomas covers in this restart. Those mediums are really coming to show for Ryderdale. We take a look at the tyres. Of course, he's on mediums for the past 8 laps, but there will be a crossover point at some point, I think. Which means the hard will probably get faster within the last 5 laps of this race, I want to guess. We use F123 logic, but also there's fighting behind as well. Dirt went all the way from P2 to P9 after he stopped again, but he has got a major tyre advantage with everybody ahead of him. So, can he get TF10 back into the fight for the championship? They are around 36 points away from the top 2 now. They're on 50 points. But yeah, looks like it's very close within that midfield battle to get every last point in this crucial championship fight. But adversity in the tyres and TTM Moustache look to be side by side. Quartz and Fleddy also fighting behind. DRS is enabled. Yeah, can Moustache get back up to where he was earlier? He is fighting with the tyres. That Versio driver, he kind of pushes him off. But what a switchback from Moustache. What a brilliant move. That is crazy. But it looks like there's multiple cars involved in an incident at the back. Oh. And wow. Finley, Durem, Quartz, Pablo Ortiz, no. But yeah, is Quartz trying to cause a safety car? I'm not sure. But Gavrich gets another 3-second penalty as well. No safety cars. He's just cutting every single corner. keep a close eye on him. He might do something rogue. That's another 3-second penalty added to his race time. I would guess he would retire in the pit lane. I would hope he retires in the pit lane so it doesn't cause a disturbance to anybody on track currently. But yes, it's Ryderdale in P1, followed by Renz Tomasson, then Thomas covers Jordan, then Moustache, and Karuni, Fraser, Matthias, Dirk, and Fleddy. But Fraser does get ahead of Karuni. Bloody hell, what a race for that midfield. Very close, but it looks like Moustache is currently out of the DRS for CPI Jordan, which does help his CPI teammate Fraser get ahead of Moustache going into turn 1 and turn 2, as Moustache has got that inside line and Moustache goes back out. Dirk has done pretty well to get back into P6 from boxing from P9, but he has got, talking about penalties, 3-second penalty for Finley. He is far behind. Forts is committing to boxing. He is on the soft tyre, so can he take fastest lap away from who I believe Jerem has it currently? Could take it away. Of course, those soft tyres, if you know anything about Formula 1, they are the fastest, grippiest compound, but they do wear out the easiest. But they are perfect for around now when you've only got 8 laps to go in this race. So they would be perfect for this situation. Yeah, we keep on looking. Dirk does make the move for P5. Renz Tomasson and Ryderdale, both ETX fighting as Thomas Covers does take the lead. Apologies for missing that, but are they going into the pits? No, they aren't. Really sent us there, but Ryderdale does take the lead again. Can Renz also use the door that Ryderdale opened to get the lead? No, he can't. It's Ryderdale still in P1, followed by Thomas Covers and Renz Tomasson. It is no longer an ET812, and the Virtue Opinion gets 10-second penalty which is not good for Virtue's chances. But Virtue are only 6, so now it's only up to Matthias to get the share of the points, which, as it stands, Matthias would get 8 points, which in this championship will not be enough to really make any moves anywhere. But carrying on with the action, Dirk has now caught up to the DRS of Jordan. It's really annoying in how it's flashing out as yellow flags in sector 1. Luckily that has gone away now. But Dirk has caught up to the DRS range within CPI Fraser, and knowing that tyre advantage that he has, 6 laps younger those tyres are than Jordan's cars. So, but anyway, 3 wide going into this race. And it's Thomas Covers who takes the lead, but it's still Renz Tomasson who is side by side with him. He does get that DRS though, and he uses it to get ahead. He's burning a little bit, I can tell, and he does take the lead again for the millionth time this race. Renz Tomasson leads Saudi Arabian Grand Prix at competitive feature, round 3 actually, season 4. But yeah, Jordan also trying to get in there in that top 3 fights, which has been mostly the only 4 drivers in this race. Jordan as well, he is in that range to possibly try and make a move as well on some of the drivers. But we've got Dirk in 5th as well, who's also closing that gap every single corner, every single sector to Jordan and that front. And as I called it, Port gets the fastest lap with a 29.3 on those brand new soft tyres. He is 18 seconds behind Nico, who also had a problem. Matthias also boxes, which means that ruins Aversio's chances of getting many points after Finn retired. It's Thomas Covers who makes the move for the lead once again. That's Thomas Collins leading, followed by Ren Slapping and Fortune another 3-second penalty. It's kind of interesting to see how many penalties he's got. He's got 12 seconds of penalty. If he finishes like this, he won't get any points. I don't think for the 17 plus he'll get points. But yeah, Thomas covers first place. Of course, we saw that earlier. Oh my days! What have I just witnessed? Wow. Okay, so that's Thomas covers out of this race. BSC late on in this race. What happened there? Is that down to poor contact model? Guess you'll have to see in the stewards' report later this evening. But, well, after that, you've got Rens Tomasson in the lead, but that might not be for long. But, of course, we don't know whose fault it is just yet. We will have to see the replays and the clips of that. But, yeah, very, very shocking plot twist for this race. That ruins TTM's chances, really. And Quartz gets another 10-second penalty for speeding, and he retires out of the race. Which means guaranteed points for anyone who finishes, which is always a positive. Always nice to race one you know you've got guaranteed points. But anyway, Rens Tomasson first place, followed by Ryder and Jordan. It looks like it's side by side. No, it's not. Just my eyes are deceiving me. Yeah, Rens Tomasson in that first place, followed by Ryder Jordan, Dirk, Moustache, and that's the end of VSC, so DRS is back on. And as everyone gets back into the races, CPI Jordan does get full advantage of that and makes the move for first place. But can Ryder take it back? I'm not fully sure. I think he does. Very, very close, but it's very risky here. We have seen Thomas Covers retire at this corner, but it's Ryder who keeps the lead. CPI Jordan did capitalise from that restart, getting nearly the race lead, which would be really good for CPI, as they're currently looking for trying to get back into the championship fight. But yeah, it's Ryder in first place still. Dirk, VSC did help him. My predictions, don't want to curse any of the drivers of course, but my predictions so far would be Dirk for the win. Bold predictions, but historically on F1 games, the tyre advantage has been huge. If you have talking about Dirk, he tries and he goes for the move for P3, just like that. But historically, on Formula 1 games, if you have the tyre advantage, ooh, pushing him into the wall a little bit, very tight there, but Dirk, I called it. I knew he has got the pace to get up to second place. He doesn't quite get up to second place. He has got the inside line for turn 2, very close between both drivers. Dirk does stay in P3. Anyway, as I was saying, so rudely interrupted. Sorry, from the Formula 1 games, the tyre advantage has been huge. If you have younger tyres, that's the word. If you have younger tyres, then you will be much faster historically. But yeah, that's Moustache trying to make a move around the outside. Unsuccessful, unfortunately, but always love to see pressure. Mathias gets past that with a 28.9, which is 4/10 faster than Quartz's fastest lap attempt. He is around 40 seconds back from the main train. But yeah, still very close in this race. 3 laps to go. And as I've predicted, Dirk is still making moves. He is very close behind Dirk. Yeah, Moustache is trying to make a move, but that's Dirk as well trying to make a move. Round the outside, can he do it? Jordan is in the lead. I did not realise he was in the lead until now, but Dirk is just behind now. He has got the DRS, so does Ryder. Can Ryder get a move done? He's getting pushed all the way as much as the track allows, locking up, leaving as much space, but also as little space for his fellow competitor as possible. Side by side going into this tight corner. See if Dirk does back out of that for safety, of course. Making a move through there is, of course, really difficult and very risky, as we've seen with Thomas Covers, who, fallen soldier, I'm afraid, has sadly retired after this race after fighting for the win. But of course, you've got Jordan in the lead. Where did he start? I want to see where he started. He started P5, so that is very good. He must have managed these safety cars really well to capitalise on the pit stops, as it looks like the hards look to be similar pace with the mediums of Ryder. But Dirk right up Ryder's backside. Let's see if we can make a move done. Nam and Mustache. Nam, brilliant comeback from 2 times front wing damage all the way up to P7 and fighting for even more. 3 wide going to turn 27. That is surely to go wrong. Oh, and it does go slightly wrong, as Mustache does get slightly punished. Is there any damage for anybody? I'm not sure. But we see Dirk make that move for 2nd place. He has got 6 lap faster tyres, younger tyres, than Jordan. Ooh. He's only got 2 laps to get that win though. But if Jordan does take the win, that would be very helpful for CPI's chances of pushing for that championship. The ET8 still 3rd and 4th. Do not count them out in this race. Also, they have shown very good pace in this race. They've shown very good pace over the season. But of course, yeah, TTM looks to have had a bit of a nightmare. So CPI, CPI might not be able to overtake him again. But Fraser is also in P5, so do not count that out. Gavroche, that GT10 team has been punished with time penalties in this race, and he gets another 3-second penalty. Still though, Dirk is close to Jordan. Still a race. Karuni gets a 3-second penalty as well, as we speak about that. But it's Ryder side by side with Dirk, and that is that. Renz Tomasson trying to make a move as well, and that's Dirk going for the lead of the race. Ahead of Jordan, I called it. People of the anyway, Jordan goes ahead again. Dirk versus Jordan, Jordan versus Dirk. Very close there. Jordan does get a 3-second penalty though. It looks like he'll push off, so might have to look at that into race director. But bloody hell, it is close between the top 5. I'm not sure if I'm allowed to say bloody, but anyway, into the rest of Sector 1, there's just 1 lap left, and that's Renz Tomasson taking full advantage of how close this top 6, 7 are. Mustache gets another 3-second penalty, which means, as it stands, he will not finish in points, and Pablo Ortiz will do well. But anyway, that is Ryder and Dirk fighting. Jordan as well capitalising on Dirk's weaknesses. Can he get the switchback done on Dirk though? Yes, he can. Looks like there's a yellow flag though. Looks like that's a McLaren of Mustache, I would believe that would be. But we take a look at the lead of the race. Renz Tomasson 4 tenths ahead. It's still all to play for going into the final corner of this race. It's very close between the rest of the top 4. Fraser, Ryder, Dirk and Jordan fighting for it. Renz Tomasson, can he stay ahead? Yes, he can. Ryder, can he make it 1-2 for that ET8 team? It's Fraser, Ryder and Jordan as Renz Tomasson wins. And Ryder makes it an ET8 1-2. And IRT Fleddy as well. Fair play to him. Went all the way from, I believe, like P11. He's gone up 6 places, so from P10 all the way up to P4. But yeah, so that is your finishing order. Commentators Curse Kenan once again with the not winning the race in the end, and looked like it was actually ET8's domination this race, and that will be very helpful for pole position and 1-2 in this race. Sadly, not fastest lap. That went to Matthias, I think. But yeah, very exciting race. Really spice things up for the future. Can ET8 keep this dominant form going into... Is it Mystery next round? No, it won't be Mystery. It will be Baku, actually. But yeah, ET8 1-2. A very good result, followed by a third place of CPI Fraser, was it? Or Jordan? I can't remember exactly, but it was a CPI driver, judging by the fact it is a Ferrari on the third step there. But yeah, let's wind down a little bit and let's look at the standings. You've got Rens Thomason in first place, followed by Ryder Dow, then CPI Fraser, followed by Fleddy, Dirk, Jordan, Nam, Karumi, Claudio and Gavroche finishing that top 10 positions. And the rest of the point scorers, Pablo Ortiz, Jerem, Nico and Matthias. Everyone down here sadly retired. TTM looked like they were about to have a really brilliant race, but unfortunately for them, it all fell apart. Matthias did take fastest lap, so that is an extra point for Aversio to take home. Quartz as well, Finley, Marley and TF10 Mathis as well in those final retirees positions. But yeah, that is your competitive speed series. Season 4, round 3 race. Thank you to everyone for watching and tuning in. Congratulations to ET8 as they extend the championship lead. I'm not sure if there's supposed to be a interviews channel or something like that. I don't think there is though. So yeah, unless I start a party with the little group. But yeah, hope Ace will confirm that for me soon. Okay, no interviews. Unfortunately for the viewers, but thank you very much for watching Competitive Speed Series Season 4. Stay tuned for tomorrow, which is Xbox F1. Around Jeddah again. Let's see what the Xbox teams can do. But yeah, thank you ever so much for watching, and good evening.